So today I wanted to talk about a couple of products as a product developer myself, a couple of products that I've seen on the market that kind of frustrate me, but I feel that just shouldn't exist anymore, honestly. But at the end of the day, it's just my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you agree, disagree, or if there's some products in your life that you feel like just shouldn't exist, or there has to be something better. Number one has to be shoelaces. Oh my goodness, I detest shoelaces. I've hated shoelaces since I was a kid. I remember growing up and I would ask my mom to always buy me Velcro shoes or shoes with elastics that I would just slip my feet into and just move on with my life, do what I wanted to. And then as I grew up, I kind of just had to deal with shoelaces. And then now as an adult, I'm like, fuck shoelaces. I don't want to have to deal with them. Mostly I just wear boots. I always wear boots, whether it is to an event, to work, even just to a friend's house. I always wear boots. And yes, they have shoelaces, but most importantly, they have a zipper. And I cannot tell you how much and how strict I am that I only buy shoes that have some sort of zipper or they just go on like that, but it doesn't hinder my style at all. If anything, it's become a lot better. And another side note, something important about boots with zippers, me as a motorcyclist, I find it important to always have a zipper on a boot because one, I want to be able to put them on, or in case of an emergency, I want to be able to take them off. But most importantly, I want to zip it down and allow ventilation. That's something you can't really do with regular shoes with just laces. Sure, yeah, they have ventilation all over, but this right here, I would call it a gaiter. I'm not sure if that's the right way to say it, but it allows a lot of air to just come in and ventilate it, and it just keeps me on my feet all day. So that's something that I do. I just sometimes I leave the boots unzipped, and if it's hot or if I'm getting hot, I unzip them, let my boots just ventilate, and then when it's time, when I'm good, I just zip them back up. So number one, laces. I just don't like laces. Never liked them as a kid. Don't like them as adults. But this is my solution. I just get zippered boots. Anyways. Number two, something that I find that I think everybody agrees on is we just shouldn't have plastic bags. We shouldn't have plastic bags. Shouldn't have plastic bottles. I feel everybody should invest in a nice, beautiful stainless steel reusable bottle, or it could be a plastic bottle, but it has to be reusable, or reuse the plastic bottles that you use with already. Don't make them single-use items. That's something that's important. That's something that all of us should explore. I personally have a beautiful stainless steel insulated water jug that I carry with me all the time, as many times as I can, and I always have here. I just fill that up all the time, and then I'm good to go. But plastic is a problem. That's something that I think everybody could agree with. Bags, same thing, something I've noticed. The US is probably the most prevalent in this, where they use plastic as a single-use item, and people are almost proud of it. If you ask somebody, do you want a plastic bag with that? They'll oftentimes say yes here, even if it's just one little item. It's become a habit. It's part of, shopping culture where you feel like you didn't shop if you didn't leave with a bag. That's something that I've noticed as well. So we got to get out of that habit to get off of bags, just get off of plastic in general. Another thing that I just don't understand, it's not really a product, it's a service, but it comes with a product, so to say, and that's paper checks. I don't see the value anymore of why people use paper checks. And I don't want to hear that it's just like, oh, it's easier to track your spending. It's not. Apps right now, they track your spending. I know because I'm a budget. I am hardcore budgeting, and I follow every single penny that's in my bank account. And I budget every single month, every single week, almost to the day. Checks do not provide any sort of accountability. Maybe if you have a business, kind of works as a receipt. The proof when you write out a check, maybe that's where I see it. But even then, a card transaction on a business credit card or something like that could easily replace that. But paper checks are something that I just don't I just don't see the value in. And that's coming from somebody that uses paper checks. I just don't see the value. I feel like paper checks should have been something that should have been let go along with like paperless banking and paperless bills, receipts. That's something that should have just been gone with the wind. And I still see people using checks, paper checks to this day. So that's one. And then the last one, which is probably the most controversial, is the metric and the standard system. I don't understand. I live in the US, actually. I'm Hispanic, but I live in the US. I don't understand why we are so heavy set on not just changing and converting over to metric. A lot of companies have acknowledged, like American companies like Ford and other companies, they have acknowledged already that they could save, and they already are switching over to metric on the back end. You just haven't really noticed. But even to this day, I still see, when I go to hardware stores, there's a metric section and then the standard SAE section, which is actually what standard stands for. But that's something that I feel like is just unnecessary. Could you imagine the amount of waste, the amount of production that we could just cut back on if we just switched over to metric? Just like the rest of the world, the United States is the only place that still has this system. It's super outdated. It's very controversial. It goes back 200 years. It's just a problem altogether. But I definitely am on the side of metrification, and I believe in it. This is a socket set that I personally have. I work on my motorcycle when I can, and when I do use it, I'm grateful that it is an Asian brand. It's a Honda, and it is metric. It's a lot easier to work on a bike when it's metric. And as a product developer, my designs are in metric. I use the metric system because it's uniform, universally understood. If I find a problem that I am coming across somebody that doesn't use the metric system, that should already be a red flag for me that I'm probably working with the wrong person. But that's my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Is there something on the list that you like, that you didn't like? What is a product that you feel just shouldn't be made anymore? A service that you shouldn't be made anymore? Let me know. I'm open to feedback. Like, subscribe. Thank you.